on the real reason for the season, of course. And here to help us do that, we have pastor of Emmanuel Temple in Pembroke Pines, Florida, Reverend John White II. He is a friend of ours here at BNC. Reverend White, it is always a pleasure, better yet. Now, let's jump right in.
Thank you so much for having me again.
It's always a pleasure. You said it during the break. We're like BFFs now, right? We're family. So,
Exactly.
what do you tell your family when people start reflecting on the real reason for the season? What do you tell them to remember when it comes to Christmas?
That we have, that God decided to use the most unlikeliest of places, the most unlikeliest of person in a virgin to allow his son to come into this world. In a barn, a manger is simply a cow's eating trough. So this is the place where cows eat, and this is the place that God decides to have his son come into the world. What a great illustration for us to see that anything is possible and that it does not matter how we get here, but it's what we do after we arrive is the most important. And you talked about gift giving. What better way than to go find homeless brothers and sisters on these days before Christmas to be a blessing to them? It's one of the things that my wife and I started, and we challenged our church to join us. And so on Christmas morning, 7 a.m., we wanted to break the sense of entitlement in our children. So before they can open any gift, we prepared what we call homeless survival kits that we will deliver to homeless brothers and sisters in Dade and in Broward counties, Miami and Fort Lauderdale, so we can be a blessing to them of everything they would need to be homeless, to survive on the streets in South Florida.
That's such a blessing. And yeah, I myself have also done that as well. How do we encourage other folks to get involved? I mean, even if it's just the smallest thing, just to honor the birth of Jesus Christ.
I think we have to look at the lessons that Jesus teaches us. That the last shall be first and the first shall be last, that it's better to give than to receive. And if we apply those principles to our lives, our world would be different. Our world would be a nicer place. We would not only, as some would say, pay it forward, we would take care of the person behind us in the Starbucks line. We would see single mothers struggling at the grocery store and thinking about putting things back and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take care of all of these things. So we call it at our church LOL, love out loud. If we could just do more love
Mm.
out loud, real practical ways of people seeing Jesus' hands and Jesus' feet, I think it would make people think differently about the church and think differently about God.
Love out loud. I love that. That's beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to copyright that now, so before it goes viral.
Because I was going to say I'm going to steal it, but I'm like, you know what? I don't steal. I'm going to attribute that to you, Reverend White, because that is beautiful.
The first
Uh,
time, the first
yes.
time.
So why do you think we get so caught up in the material things of Christmas? Is it just all of the hoopla, all the commercials? How do we get so caught up where we just bypass the message and the messenger, right?
I think we have, sad to say, we have moved Jesus out of the way for Christmas, and we've been bombarded with messages of giving and parties and toys, and we've missed the moment that has been presented to us by God, that an obscure place in Bethlehem, which was not on the beaten path. It was in my first church. It was St. Philip, Florida, so it was out in the country, in a place where people don't travel, people don't go. So if we keep that message center, that little things, great things come in small packages, and if we would just I wear glasses, so if we would put the glasses of God on, we would see things the way God sees them instead of the way we see them. And being disappointed about what I didn't get, being disappointed I didn't get a call, I didn't get a text, I did get invited to a party. And if we would look at with the eyes of God and say, okay, you know what? I may have not gotten what I wanted, but I've gotten so much more than I need, particularly in light of the fact that so many people have died because of COVID. So many people, particularly in this time of the year when depression is high, I've gotten so many calls from members who are really struggling, who've lost loved ones these last 12 months. Some of them to COVID, but not all.
Yeah, yeah. We got about 30 seconds, Reverend White. Does it just boil down to just living more like Jesus? Just being grateful?
Yes, if we can just do what Jesus did, if we could just follow his lessons of leadership, we can just follow him as a model instead of trying to follow the whoever is trending
Trending.
on social media,
Yep.
whoever has the most likes. We're living for likes. It's a sad
Yeah.
part. So if I post something and someone doesn't like my post, then you don't like me, and we're seeking validation from other entities instead of seeking validation from the one who has given us validation by being born and living and ultimately dying and then being resurrected.
Yes. Validation by default. One that one can't take away. But
Man,
I'm about to take your job.
you own it. You own it today. You own it today. We need to give you a Bible and go ahead and a microphone and everything else, and get you a Hammond organ and some drums and all of the other great stuff.
Reverend White, don't tempt me. I'm a woman of God. You know I'll take the mission.